Hello everyone, welcome to Q Design. I'm Janine, and in today's tutorial I show you how to create a sparkle or a Kira filter for your Instagram channel in Spark AR, and of course more like just add this here. No, it's not possible. VHS styles with, I show it a little bit more. So that you have this, that you add a color LUT to your scene, and also I make it a little bit more serious, maybe 10. You add RGB shift. You see me right here. RGB shift to your scene as well. So yeah, let's start with this tutorial. I hope you will enjoy it. Okay, let's start with a tutorial with our Kira or sparkle filter, and we start directly with the sparkle filter and later added the VHS 90 look to our filter. So we need the patch editor for this, and because I use a patch, the simple Kira patch, and you find this patch in the description. It's from this tutorial right here, Filter Instagram Sparkle Glitter Kira Part 2. So and just click in this link and you can download the filter. And yes, thank you for creating that filter. It's pretty easy to work with this one, and you can also add LUTs and every other things to your scene too. So I put this one right in here, and we need our device, a patch from our device. So this one here, the interaction patch, we need this, and we need the camera texture as well. And now we create our sparkles, and we use for that, in this tutorial you learn to add 3 different sparkles into your scene. You can add more or less like you want to, and we need 3 different rectangles, but I start with the first one. So, and this is sparkle 1. This is the first one, and we make sure that it fill the height and the width, and we add a new material to that and call this one like sparkle 1, like our rectangle, and add to this the sparkle 1 as well. So and go to flat. In this case, I created just in Photoshop 3 different sparkles, and this is the first one, and I created this one in Photoshop, but you can also go to Google Pictures or something like that and add more realistic sparkles to your scene. And now we you need the texture patch created, sorry. And now we link all together. Stop right here. You choose the sparkle, and you go to your camera texture and put this one right in here, camera texture, and add the screen size into device resolution. Now, ta-da! It's working, you see. And And what I want to do right now, I go to flat and go to replace so that I can see how many pixel I created, and now I add maybe 20. It's too many in this case. I want to make maybe 10, and the shift is not needed in this case because this one is our first layer. And go to add, can play a little bit with our screen, yes, maybe a little bit opacity off. Can also go back to standard, so but you miss the links. It's more realistic right here. It's interacting more with the lights, so it looks pretty nice. And now we create the other two layers. So go to copy and duplicate the rectangle, and the same with this one right here. And now I just link the material. This is the second one and the third one, and also duplicate this right here twice. And select both sparkle 3 and 2. Go to this one too. And now we want to start with the sparkle 2 and go to replace, so we have an idea how many. Maybe this is 10, maybe we create 15, so it's off 2 a little bit. And we go to, I don't know, 200, so it's a little bit higher, 200 in that, and go to add. Yes. And the last one, 3, go to, no, not to screen, replace, 5. You see, I created a lot of space in this sparkle, so there is a natural more, maybe there's more space between the sparkle texture, 60, 50. Maybe not the best decision that I made with the sparkle creation, and off 2, so maybe 400, and go back to our sparkle and go to add. And so easily you created your sparkle. When you want more sparkle, you can add more layers, or what you can also do is, like I said, I created a lot of space right here, and maybe make sure that when you create the sparkle texture, that there is not so much space in the PNG. Make sure you create a PNG also, not a JPEG. And now we want to go a little bit further and just I read some of the comments of the creator of this YouTube tutorial. There's a little problem when you add the pixel or the value into that, and when you reopen your file, these values disappear and or will be reset. So what I do, there are two solutions. I think what I do is that I delete these patch, so that when I make some modification in that, it really stays just in this project and not involve the my reference patch. So make sure that you delete it to make sure that the value that you add into your patch really stay in your project. Okay, so we don't need to see this one right here and make a group it. And the second solution that you make a group out of the patch that also solve the problem with the resetting of the values. So this is our sparkle patch, and now we create our background at first, and we need 2 rectangles for that. Sorry, we add a new canvas at first because we need, this is our, no, this is our sparkle canvas, and this is our BG canvas, and add 2 rectangles into this one, 2. Select both. We need both, one for the LUT and the other one for the RGB shift shader. So this is our VHS LUT, and this one is our RGB shift shader. I just switch that off and create for this one a new material. This is also our VHS LUT, and I created a VHS LUT for this tutorial or for my filter, and of course I need to create the LUT, the FastColorLUT patch. FastColorLUT. And the LUT 2, so put this one right here, go to the RGBA, so the alpha, and also the LUT, add this one to it, and go to your material, texture, and add this one to your scene. And when you want to create, when you didn't create, or when this one is your first LUT you created, or you want to learn more about the FastColorLUT, watch this tutorial right here, and you'll find the patch also in the description. So, but more instructions to this LUT you find in another tutorial. So this is a FastColorLUT, and we need create our RGB shift. So add a new material, call this one like this. This is our shift, and add not standard. Oh, sorry, I forgot. I need to create a new one, because make sure you add the flat one, so there's no interaction with your lights. Whoop. And now for the RGB shift shader, you go to your library. Okay. And shaders. And you see a lot of interesting shaders, and we want to use RGB color shift. There is the RGB shift shader. And like in this example, we just, of course, we just need to add this one, and you can, the amount, add a value to that, value, whoop, and maybe I think 3 is enough, just a little bit of, but of the shift, a little bit less. But you see your LUT is disappeared. So what I do is to go to screen and make it a little bit less. So that is my solution. Maybe wait a little bit more. Yes. You see this is very light. So what I noticed when I put this, upload this filter on my smartphone and tested, my shadows burned out, so it gets a lot red, and my lights also gets looks very weird. So make sure that the LUT is very dark and or not so over. Not so much contrast or not too bright, so that it really looks nice on your device. But in this case, for this light right here, on this example, the LUT is also okay. You see there is no shift. But what I now create, and that's why I created 2 different canvas. This is the canvas that is above all of this, whatever. And I want to create for my style the retouch, so that my skin is way more softer, because this is more like a romantic 90s princess filter or something like that. So let's start with the face mesh. We need 3 different face meshes, and put this one between these 2. And this is the retouch face mesh, but first I just want to create 2 other one. We need 1 for the retouch. This one is for the VHS LUT mesh, whoops. And this is the RGB shift mesh. The reason is I start with a new material. This is my retouch, and go to retouch and just select those 2 and visibility off. You see no retouch. My skin is a mess like before, but when I go to the retouch material, and you see there is no difference, and when I put this one on, there's a big difference. And for the LUT only, I created a tutorial too. So when you just want to know how to create the retouch for the LUT, watch this tutorial, and there I show you what you have to avoid when you create this LUT. But I want to create this one for the patch editor too. When you create a retouch, you need to create this color grading, or whatever you want to, however you want to name it. You need to create that for your face too, so that you really have this retouch. And so we need 2 new materials. Material, new one. Okay. This is our, this is for our VHS retouch, as for our mesh. Boop. Now we start with our color LUT. So I switch this one off just to show you how it works. We create a second FastLut, and now you go to the face tracker and create a texture like for your camera. Hello. And disconnect this one and connect with this one, and go to your, not standard, flat of course. Add this to your scene. Awesome. I have to switch this one off too. No. So you see it's working, but you see it's a little bit off. So go to the face. This both turn this on and turn this on, and you see this mess right here. Go to your VHS mesh, and we need an alpha. This is create a new texture, and we need this one, this face mesh mask. You find this, I think, in the assets for your textures in Spark AR. I will link it down below. So it's a little bit, you see the difference right now. And just duplicate this texture and visibility on, and also here the visibility on, and go to RGB shift mesh. This is this one, flat texture. And what we created for this one right here, it's a little bit confusing, I know. We go to add another shift, disconnect and connect with our face tracker and with our material. And now we need the values what we did before with the RGB shift shader. We go to our, oh sorry, I created a duplicate. Go to screen and go to the setting. The setting for this material were 40, so whoops, material, screen, and 42, like. And now you have this nice looking filter created. You can go a little bit when you want it not so dark like or not so bright like in my case. Make sure your the values for the RGB shift and shader you create the same. And now you have your Princess 19th Princess VHS photo filter for your Spark AR and Instagram thing and so on. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial, and when you want to know more about color grading and Spark AR, watch these tutorials right here. And thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And when you like this tutorial, please leave a thumbs up. And make sure that every one of your friends notice this tutorial who wants to see this. And of course, when you have questions, leave me a comment down below, or maybe an DM via Instagram. I really enjoyed this tutorial, and well, enjoy the process. Bye bye.